Well, good morning, everyone. How are you? It is hump day. We are halfway to the weekend. I sound like a broken record because I say that every Wednesday. Good morning, hippie grandma. Good morning, Jenny. What up, Sarah? Crime Time Connie's here. Oh, she is. OJ, that's my pen. You've caused enough havoc lately. You ate all the cheese off my celery last night. Did anyone see the video of OJ eating the cheese off my celery? I didn't even know what to do. Comrie said, "Phew, I just made it. Good for you, baby girl. Good for you." Our friend Jeannie is in here. I'm going to put the link up in a minute if anybody wants to grab it, because I really want to talk about this. Before I do, I need my Eastern Oklahoma friends and my Arkansas friends to check in, because there was some violent tornadoes last night. Let's take a look and we will get to hump day. I promise. I was actually very surprised very early this morning. I had a phone call from Cat OG, but it wasn't about the tornadoes. It was about something else. And I would say, I'm just going to preface it this way. There is a reason that Cat OG tells me not to touch buttons. Because the co-owner of the Discord somehow was kicked out. When I thought, see, I've got to keep my glasses on all the time. But just remember, your old buddy Brooks doesn't ever make mistakes. I'm just going to blame this one on OJ. Too much cheese. So Arkansas, Eastern Oklahoma, check in.
Here in Van Buren, where it has just started raining in the past few minutes, as Darby was talking about that rain, it's now starting to come down. And we do have breaking news tonight over in
Melanie, oh no, LOL. I know. Joanne, LOL. Yeah. Can you imagine somebody trying to say something to Kat and they're like, "Where the hell did Kat go?" And I'd be like, "I don't know." Hell, we both thought the whole Discord was gone. You know, since that goofy fuck in Utah killed Charlie Kirk and he was doing everything on Discord, I'm like, oh, maybe that's what happened. Well, Kat got back in. Yep, she's still the co-owner. She went through everything and it says, Brooks Kit Kat. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like me, because I know how to use the internet properly. So let's not blame Brooks for this one. Anyway, good friends can laugh.
Sequoia County in Sallisaw here in the River Valley. I just talked to police, and police tell me right now, police officers, firefighters, and first responders are all headed to the Sallisaw Hospital. They're right near downtown Sallisaw. We just got a picture into the newsroom. I'm told that the strong...
Woo! The Sallisaw Hospital got fucked up.
Wind gusts ripped most of the roof off the hospital there in Sallisaw. Now, please tell me, right now it's unknown if there are any injuries. We certainly hope that there are no injuries. But again, police and first responders are en route headed to check that out.
Okay, that's the most important thing. No injuries reported. But we have a lot of friends in Arkansas, and I know a few people from Oklahoma. Okay. Weird time of year for it to happen, but stranger things have happened. I categorize my tornadoes two ways. And I know several of you have asked me, do tornadoes scare you? I have two levels. One, I'm going to say, no, I'm going to bed. It's just going to go over us, or it's going to go around us. And then Melanie can tell you. Then I have the I'm about to shit in my pants tornado. Okay? Okay? There's a big difference. We don't go by the Vegeta scale here when you're in Okie. We don't go, oh, looks like a EF3 to me. No. We either sit outside and grill and watch it go by, or we're hunkered down. Okay, let's hunker down and tell everybody happy hump day. Woo, I'll tell you what. We are almost there.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
I have hot pink toenail polish on. What are you driving or wearing? Diva said we have a freaking hurricane coming. Yeah, that's what Candace has been saying. She said she's worried about that hurricane coming up there through Cuba. I'm like, is she thinking Cuba, Missouri? Because Cuba would be way due south of her. And I know there's a lot of questions about what Candace has been doing, the Summer Wells case. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. She's been concerned about the hurricane, but last night she decided to gift all of our ears with telling us all that she is now a lesbian. Okie doke. Fine by me. I feel bad for my gay friends that Candace is trying to be cool like them, or I'm saying everything wrong. Pat said, who cares? Pat don't give a shit. If Pat doesn't give a shit, I don't give a shit. All right, let's tell everyone hello and let's get to the show. All right. What do you think about the recent documents that have come out and that the powers that be in Nova Scotia are saying they have no evidence of any criminal activity? Well, I know who's not criminal around here, and that is Gaelic Girl. She just gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Who got it? True Crime Junkie, Janine, Life's Mysteries, Wait What, and Jeannie. Perfect. Thank you so much, Gaelic. All right. There is a lot of stuff going on, and I have a lot of questions, and I can only get answers from real Canadians because I don't live there. Okay? I don't live there. I don't understand why cadaver dogs, scent dogs, obviously are used right off the bat. But almost 5 months later, you bring out cadaver dogs. It's very confusing. And Daniel, who is rumored to have a new girlfriend, so be it. Malaya is rumored to have a new boyfriend, so be it. Daniel, who has been the talking head the whole time, is saying they're not going to find him. They're not going to find him with those dogs. Well, that's a gut churning statement to make. Why is he so sure? We have heard all kinds of things for the last almost 5 months. Because what is today? Today is September 24th. We have heard all kinds of things. But when someone is for sure that they're not going to find something, it raises my eyebrow a tad bit. So listen to this.
Martel has known since the day Jack and Lily disappeared that he was a suspect. He's been their stepfather for more than 2 years, living together in this trailer. Martel says that's why he has fully cooperated with police.
Everything from my phone, doing a polygraph exam.
And all of that was in the court documents. All of it was in the court documents. They actually gave them their phones back after they did the dump and they went through them. They have their phones back.
Just ask them to do, here you go, search everything. do everything you can for the kids, right?
Freshly unsealed court documents detail how RCMP combed through bank records, phone data, and GPS locations. Investigators wanted to know the exact whereabouts of Martel and the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, in the days leading up to the children's disappearance, and cross-reference that information with the statements they gave to police.
Okay. They have a lot of conflicting statements. I think all of us can agree on that. Really, all that matters is what they say to the police and to what evidence is found. It could be some kind of investigative tool to say, we don't think they did anything, so then they relax, you know? Or it really could be when these dogs go out, and I hope that doesn't happen, they find them. Because we always want the kids to be found happy and healthy and get to good homes. Okay? That's what we always want.
The documents reveal that as of July 16th, investigators did not believe the case was criminal. By that point, 6 polygraph tests had been done, including on both Brooks Murray and Martel. They were also done on Martel's mother, on Brooks Murray's mother and her partner, and on the children's biological father. Brooks Murray was given a polygraph in what police describe as an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder.
Sergeant Daw stated Malaya willingly agreed to undergo a polygraph examination in relation to the investigation in an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder. Well, obviously the M word gets people heated.
She passed, and so did Martel.
They've done a full background check as much as they could possibly do. And I mean, I'm pretty thankful for them to spend the time and spend the resources to try to figure out everything.
An extensive search on Martel.
I don't know what he means, spend the resources to try to find him. I mean, is he talking about money, time, searching? I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to put the link down. If anyone wants to come up and discuss this, obviously we are not judge and jury, not even close enough to be Judge Judy. So we don't know what they know, but I mean, this document dump is, it's something. It is something.
Martel's property and the surrounding 8.5 square kilometers has turned up only a few clues. One was a boot print matching Lily's size 11 feet. Another was a pink blanket hanging from a tree found by family members of the children's mother. A piece of blanket was also seized from a garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martel says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
I mean, it's mysterious as it is because the distance from the garbage bin to where the blanket was found is almost 1 kilometer.
RCMP have previously said Lily's blanket was sent for forensic analysis. To date, police have received 740 tips and more than 9,300 videos, and say a tremendous amount of careful, deliberate, investigative work is ongoing to locate Lily and Jack.
Good for them. Tammy Burke said he stated he used to meet with investigators 3 times a week. Then it was slowed down, and now it's 3 times again. Oh. Pat K, is there any way you can grab the link? Because I want to ask you some questions about these documents. We'll see if she comes up. We'll see. What would Pat do? Because the documents are something else. Oh, well, there she is. Well, good morning, Pat K.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. I'm half awake, so, you know.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What do you think about this document dump that came out that said there's just no evidence of any crime? And now they have cadaver dogs, not scent dogs, not drug sniffing dogs, not marijuana sniffing dogs. They have cadaver dogs going out. I don't know when. I don't know where. Why do you know why they would wait almost 5 months to do that?
Well, not really, but what I thought of first off was, okay, because of the terrain, and they said, I read somewhere that they considered a very hot and dry summer.
Mhm.
So I figured, okay, they've put them out now because it would be easier for the dogs to pick up a scent of anything that was, passed away. So
Okay.
that's what I thought of because of the terrain.
I know.
It's hard for the dogs.
Sure. But dogs are more agile than people. I tagged Jeannie. She's also in Canada. I tagged her in something when they said people could actually go back into the woods again, the forest again, because there had been rain. They weren't letting people go out there because of fires.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just really hope, and I'm hopefully I'm not, I don't want to offend anybody and I don't want to far stretch. I just really hope that they didn't leave those babies out there the whole time because they were afraid of a forest fire.
No, I don't think so. I don't. The worst thing out there when it's really dry and that is people throwing cigarette butts out their windows of their car.
Mhm.
Everybody else sort of knows. But it has been very, very dry, like scary dry. You wonder about fires easily. But no, I don't think that's why they wouldn't have. No.
Okay.
I just think I figured it would be easier possibly for the dogs to pick up a scent after all this time and it being dry and stuff like that.
I
But
mean,
hey,
even after the rain, because there's a lot of confusion with the dogs. Now you have Daniel saying that they're not going to find them.
yeah, that's really odd. But I don't know. I don't think he did anything.
According to the documents, he didn't. Tammy Burke said the dogs are out now. Okay. Well, hopefully
good.
they find them, and it would be a miracle if they found them alive. It's a very odd statement to make. We have to admit these are odd people, dude. These are odd people. Look how they live.
I still feel like somebody took them.
Okay.
Or sent them away or something like that. They would have been found. I don't know. I just can't get my mind around 2 kids disappearing. It just doesn't make sense.
2.
Not 2 of them. It's not like Summer or, any of the others. It's just one person. This is 2. There's no way. And I don't think they're in the woods. They would have been stopped. If they were walking through those woods, they would have been not able to go on after half a mile. And remember, it was very cold.
Mhm.
It gets really cold in the night and it doesn't really warm up till 10 o'clock in the morning at that time when they went missing. So the kids wouldn't have gone out, snowsuits maybe, and they could have played for a couple hours out there, but it just doesn't make sense. I still think somebody's taken them or someone gave them away or something. I don't know.
Well, it seems that way to me too. But if is giving away a child in Canada, would that be considered a crime?
Of course. Yeah. If it was the mother or something, then of course, because she's been questioned, her kids are listed as missing. I guess that's my eternal hope that they're somewhere. I haven't got to the point yet where I think they're past. It took me a long time to get that. Well, not really that long with summer, but I still have hope.
Absolutely. That's all we can have. All right, let's look at this. This is more about the documents.
He was a likely suspect when his 2 stepchildren disappeared. He says police have looked at everything from his cell phone to his banking records.
I really have no problem with it. It's not like I have anything to hide.
In fact, he says he's tried to help, like early in the investigation when police found a scrap of blanket on a nearby road.
I called it into RCMP when I realized it was a piece of a pink blanket found.
The rest was here in Martel's trash bin. That blanket, one of the only clues as to what happened to 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, who vanished from their home in...
I have never gotten an explanation. Why was Lily part of Lily's blanket in their trash bin?
Well, you would think that they would have found that the first day, right?
But he found it.
The first day?
I don't know what day he found it. Maybe someone can clarify. Tammy said Janie's trailer and Daniel's has been searched, allegedly. That's what it says in the documents. They searched everything.
Yeah, I would expect them to have searched everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The RCMP aren't going to fool around, not with 2 kids.
Hold on. Jeannie said, oh, because Daniel threw it out. Okay. They don't throw anything else out. Look how junky that place is. So you're telling me that you throw out a pink blanket?
Yeah, and their relationship wasn't that great. Maybe whatever his suspicions are, maybe he was just cleaning up, getting rid of all the kids' stuff. Who knows?
Now, what do we know about vehicles being towed? We know they didn't file taxes. We got that part. But Daniel's vehicle has been towed because he didn't register it. I mean, which one? It looks like a used car lot there.
No, they wouldn't tow it if it's not registered.
Well, that's
You can have things on your property that aren't registered. Everybody does.
Oh, there you go.
When you want to drive it, it's different. If you put it on the road and it's not registered, that's different. So that's not the reason it was towed. There's got to be something else there.
Oh, hold on. Jeannie's on stage. Oh my gosh, everybody. We're going to have 2 Canadians up here with me. Jeannie, welcome.
Hi, Brooks. Hi, chat.
Oh my
Hi,
gosh,
Jeannie.
you sound so much better. I was so worried about you. I was afraid you would have to go to the hospital, Jeannie. How are you doing?
Well, I'm still a little bit sick. Not too bad. I'm getting there. I'm very tired, but starting to feel better.
What province are you in, Jeannie?
New Brunswick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You were talking about the blanket. The blanket was thrown out by Daniel. They were using that blanket, excuse me, for the window in the trailer. There was a draft or something, and they were using that. And he just happened to throw it out.
Right. Now that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, the question is, why did part of it, is it just the wind? Is it very windy there? Because part of it got caught in a tree.
Well, by the sound of what Daniel was saying was that it was ripped in 2. So half of it was in the garbage, the big garbage bin at the end of the driveway, and the other half was in a tree. And no, I do not believe the wind took that from the garbage can, and it just happened to fly up in a tree from the garbage can. No.
Yeah, sounds unlikely, does it not?
Very much.
Tammy Burke, where are you from? She said cadaver dogs checked the trailers over the weekend. I don't know anything about that. I haven't found anything that said that.
No, and the news article that came out on Friday of last week, they're keeping it very close to they're keeping it very close to their vest to say where exactly they are searching with the dogs.
Mhm.
So people need to tone it down and, about where the police are and what they're doing. And anyway.
No, I totally get what you're saying. I mean, a lot of this rhetoric is kind of insane because a lot of it seems to come from, well, I mean, the same people,
Yeah, and you got to think in the beginning too, when they did go missing, they were thought excuse me, they were thought as missing, as in wandering off into the woods. So it was their mindset at that time. That's what happened to the kids. So why would they bring in dogs? You know what I mean? Like, why would they bring in those cadaver dogs now or then? Because their mindset was, okay, well, they're probably missing in the woods somewhere. They wandered off. But there hasn't been any indication of where they wandered off to, what happened to them. So they brought in the next step, and they brought in the dogs after, unfortunately, 5 months later.
All I need is Jesus Coffee and True Crime said the bear Daniel put the screwdriver in the door to protect the home, got mad and threw the blanket in the tree. Daniel would probably agree with that. I've never heard of a wrench in the door to keep a bear out, but obviously I don't live there.
That is exactly what he had said, that he put a wrench in the door so that the bears could not come into the house. But it's funny that you mentioned the wrench in the door, because he put that in there himself. Okay. Now I'm not claiming anything or saying anything about Daniel, but when he woke up that morning, the first thing he did was run to that door. But the wrench was not on the floor. He actually, when he opened the door, he dropped the wrench did fall onto the floor. So why would he run to that door instead of the sliding glass door the first thing?
Can a wrench in the door really stop a big old bear?
Hell no.
No.
Oh, God. Are you kidding me? Not around here.
But he would have heard, like, I could see somebody doing that, because if someone tries to get in, the wrench is going to fall to the floor, and that noise should wake you up.
Absolutely.
That's what,
Mhm.
yeah. But no. I didn't realize bears were that prevalent around there.
Kat OG has a question, and Kat, thank you so much for the super sticker. You do not need to do that. She said they said at the press conference in May they believe Jack and Lily were passed. So why now for cadavers? I think people are trying to get an understanding. No judgment, no blame, just trying to get an understanding.
It seems weird to me that they didn't bring cadaver dogs out at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why wouldn't you just bring search dogs and cadaver dogs? What's the big deal? I'm sure they have cadaver dogs out in Halifax somewhere.
No, they don't, actually. They had to fly these cadaver dogs in from, I think it was BC. Because
Really?
because there was a dog in PEI. Now, I could be wrong. There was a dog they were going to get in PEI, but it became sick. So they had to get dogs from BC. They're not every RCMP dispatchment has resources to cadaver dogs.
Yeah, but you'd think some police, enforcement agency would have a cadaver dog, and they could ask. Do they have, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
According to Belinda, there's only 6 in the entire country.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my Lord.
There's a ton in Maine. They could have brought them right up. There's a ton in New York. That's like, I mean, we border each other. Hell, I
Well,
mean,
shame on us. That's horrible. Come on,
Yeah.
Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I mean,
that's not really good.
I don't know how it goes, but I mean, there's a ton of cadaver dogs here.
Yeah.
That's really bad. That is.
But they're not local. That's the thing. They're not local.
What do you mean they're not local?
Well, they have to be flown in or drove in. However, they get them here.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were flown in from Washington, D.C. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, some of the places where they train these canines are in Maine, which is a little boat ride over to Nova Scotia. So I'm not understanding what's going on. I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's not because you know how one agency doesn't want to work with another agency. I hope that's not the reason.
I know what you mean. Like they don't want to get in the jurisdiction, but I mean, they have agencies from Ontario that are involved in the case. So I don't think that's it.
Okay, Kat said it's not Washington, D.C. It's British Columbia. Is where they came from.
Yes, BC, British Columbia. Sorry, I'm used to saying BC, but yeah, British Columbia.
Yeah, BC, British Columbia. It's because of the mountains out there. So I could see they would have a very high use out in the mountains.
Yeah.
The Rockies out in BC and stuff. But still, you think somebody would have one out here.
Yeah, I know.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know.
But that would be a good question that the news could ask them.
Mm-hmm.
Is why couldn't you get a cadaver dog from Maine?
Yeah.
The week the kids went missing. Like, what's the big deal? We're looking for kids here.
Or somewhere local, like
yeah. Or New York. I mean, hell, they got a shitload of them in New York. I mean, I'm sure that there is somebody in New York, one of the troopers with the purple tie that can drive across the border. Oh my God, we're not that unfriendly, and bring him up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dobson Farms said the RCMP dog training facility is in Innsfall, Alberta.
Alberta. Okay. It's possible.
Okay. I'm learning something new every day. All right, let's get back to this. And then if it's okay, I want to put out some things that Janie said. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want anyone uncomfortable, but it would be important to hear.
Rural Nova Scotia on the morning of May 2nd. Now, newly unsealed court documents are giving fresh insight into the investigations. CBC News and other media organizations fought for their release. They describe how police examined cell phone and banking records for the children's mother and stepfather. People close to the children passed polygraph tests, and investigators reviewed 3 days of surveillance videos showing people leaving Nova Scotia by car. As recently as mid-July, investigators wrote, Jack and Lily's disappearance is not believed to be criminal in nature. This retired police staff sergeant says almost all missing children cases start with examining the parents, and this level of scrutiny is nothing unusual.
Especially the last people to be with them, so they could say where they were, what was the time frame, where did you go, what did you do?
He believes the officers investigating the case will not give up, and their stepfather agrees.
They've done a full background check as much as they could possibly do, and I mean, I'm pretty thankful for them to spend the time and spend the resources to try to figure out everything.
The RCMP declined an interview, but said intensive work is still going on to find Lily and Jack. They're evaluating more than 700 tips and 9,000 videos. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Lansdowne Station.
Well, there you go. There's some real nutbags out there on the internet and in these different Facebook groups. Now, my friend Jeannie, she runs a type ship and she doesn't let that stuff go on. But there's one that I just can't wrap my mind around, because even though these documents has come out saying there's nothing criminal in nature, and now we see that they're bringing out cadaver dogs almost 5 months later, I can actually buy that. Now, will I buy that Daniel, Malaya, Janie's not responsible for them, okay? The primary caretaker is Malaya. Even though so many people have said Daniel took care of the kids more than Malaya. So be it, that's their relationship. It's going to be a real hard sell for me with all of these conspiracy theories and this one chick, what's her name, Callie Gibson, saying that Justin Trudeau has the kids. That makes no sense to me.
What?
Oh, come on. That's like, they should have a different YouTube channel for all those people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
That's reading a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, Jeannie, Don Wells said that Joe Biden kidnapped Summer.
Oh, for God's
Yeah.
sake.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, you know, crazy likes, I mean, crazy just shows its face. So I'm going to play this real quick. I don't know who that person is. Get out of here.
There's something in there from my morning. But there's something in there about building a chicken coop or something. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if he meant that I was feeding the chickens or but I don't know what it's just, I don't know. I started from Monday and I told you guys, I seen the kids went to school Monday. I seen the kids after school. They get out of school at 25 to 3. And after that, they were outside in the yard. Same thing on Tuesday, school. 20 to 3, they get home from school. They were outside. Wednesday, they went to their grandmother's and they left at dinner time. And they get home at 10 o'clock because I asked Daniel, how come he's home so late? And he said he would have been home 6 hours ago. Thursday, they went to town around noon. Didn't get home till later on in the afternoon. As I said, I don't know what time. The kids were out playing in the yard Thursday. Friday morning, I get up at 6 o'clock. I sent. Around noon. Didn't get home till later on in the afternoon. As I said, I don't know what time. The kids were out playing in the yard Thursday. Friday morning, I get up at 6 o'clock. I sent.
Okay, she's got an alarm going off on her phone. Okay, we'll leave that right there. All right, so she's adamant about her timeline. Other people have told me that Janie's timeline doesn't add up.
And Janie is Daniel's mother?
Yes.
Okay. I'm speechless.
She's really stuck on that 8:48 time when her brother called her. She's very stuck on that.
Mm-hmm.
I find that.
Listen to
home
this.
till later on in the afternoon. As I said, I don't know what time. The kids were out playing in the yard Thursday. Friday morning, I get up at 6 o'clock. I sent my brother a thing off of TikTok at 6:24. I had my tea, cigarettes. I went out at 7 o'clock and I fed the chickens. Came back in, sat down, had another cup of tea, and played on TeamView. At 8:48, my brother called me.
She played on Temu. Okay. I mean, she loves to show people that phone to tell them when her brother called. Well, what's that got to do with the price of hot dogs in Buffalo, New York? Come on.
She is right stuck on that time.
Well, let's talk about that. Why is that such a big deal that her brother called her?
So apparently, according to Daniel now, every Friday, her brother comes and picks her up and takes her to town.
Mhm.
But for whatever reason, that Friday, she declined to go to town with him. So you know what the saying goes, when you have a routine and then something abnormal happens, you no longer have that routine.
So did she decline the offer to go to town before that everyone knew the kids were missing?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Oh,
Yeah, at
yeah.
8. Yeah, because that's why she's so stuck on this 8:48 time. Because that's the time he had called her and asked her if she wanted to go to town, and she said no, she didn't want to go to town.
Right.
Interesting. And I totally understand the documents, and I totally, because I mean, they are in simple English for me. It's like hooked on phonics in first grade. I get it. I dig it. I understand. It doesn't mean that the investigation is over. And I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I'm not saying this one did it, this one did it, this one did it. I mean, the game of Clue blows my mind. Okay. However, when more evidence comes up, then the rhetoric might change. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
I just keep going back over all the possibilities. Like,
Okay.
each scenario. Okay, so child trafficking, who knows? Maybe, I guess, a possibility. First of all, what gets me is I thought some neighbor on that road had a ring camera or some sort of surveillance. So the RCMP knew exactly what cars were going up and down the road. So if they've ruled out every car, then the next scenario would be what do they call those? ATVs, or the ones that go through the bush.
Mhm.
Like, I'm trying to think of all the scenarios and what is reasonable, not something the aliens took them or something, but reasonable things. I did. Now that just brought up one when you were saying, Jeannie, about the brother. If he was maybe coming and he, hit the kids with a car, then maybe they're trying to cover it up. But if he didn't arrive to pick her up, okay, so that wipes that one out.
Oh, yeah, the brother, yeah.
Like, I try to be reasonable about these before you go into the weirdo stuff. I still wondered about, underground caves, because somebody said there was, caves out that way. I have no idea. My niece has never come across them. She's in Halifax. Is there anybody's old hunting cabin, and is there a sicko that lives there and has got both the kids?
That's I mean, it's as horrible as it sounds, that would be better because they would be alive. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to find dead kids. Now, I mean, I've always had a question. Okay, so Lily and Jack were sick, couldn't go to school for a couple of days.
If that's true. I don't even believe that one.
No, I never believed it, but so be it.
Yeah.
So who was getting up and down taking care of Meadow? You can't tell me unless you gave a bunch of Tylenol, cold medicine to that baby, that she slept the entire time they were sleeping. Babies have to eat.
Maybe she was breastfeeding and just grabbed the baby, put her into bed with her, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you don't hear the other children, then you don't get up and look.
Well, I don't think Malaya was breastfeeding because Meadow has teeth. Meadow wants to eat. So who got up and fed Meadow? I breastfed. And once they started cutting teeth, I was like, I'm out. I'm a horrible mother. I'm out. Okay? Because that's when they want to start chewing and they really want to eat.
Yeah.
So who got up and got Meadow anything to eat that day?
Well, I don't believe that she ate that morning that early, because Malaya got up at 6 o'clock. Actually, it was 6:18 to send an email to the school that the kids would not be in school that day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and then they were in and out of sleep. So I don't believe anybody fed Meadow that morning unless they got up and brought her in something to eat. I don't know. Danielle was saying that the kids were free range, that they were able to get their own food. Like they could go into the fridge and get their own food and whatever, but he didn't believe that they ate that morning.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking more about Meadow because, okay, so she's in a crib in their room and they're drifting in and out of sleep. What was going on? Because you cannot tell me she was sitting there in a diaper that hasn't been fed, doesn't have milk, doesn't have her treats, whatever they feed her, that she's just going to sit there and watch them nod in and out. She's going to be screaming and crying and wanting all kinds of things.
Yeah, unless she was sleeping with them. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Like,
well, that would wake them up. And when a child needs your attention, you're not going to be drifting in and out of sleep.
Oh no.
Come on, I mean.
Okay, I have another scenario for that one. If she had a half full bottle of milk from the night before, and Malay could have just picked it up and given it to her, and she drank a little bit and fell right back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, picked it up from the playpen and said, and just went here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of all the possibilities. I hadn't heard anything about anyone feeding Meadow, so I understand what you're saying, Brooks. I'm just trying to think of, okay, that could have happened.
But why
you think
didn't
someone
any
would
of
have
them
asked her that?
Why didn't any of them even get up? I mean, there's a 4 to 6 year old running around, the house. Why would you not just get up with them? One of them, at least one of them could have got up with them. Was it a normal routine to stay in bed while a 4 to 6 year old run around the house?
That's what I'm thinking. It was a normal routine, and the 6-year-old knew how to pour the cereal, get the milk. They've got turn on the TV, and to me, it sounds like it was probably a normal routine.
Yeah.
AJ said she could have got her a bottle when she was up at 6 calling the school, but she laid in bed and she just basically sent a message. And listen, I have been sleepy AF, but when the kids start anything, I was up. Dragging ass, I was up. So this whole we were in and out of sleep. I mean, I don't understand what parent is buying this story. I don't get it. I don't get what grandparent is buying this story. Kids need attention. You give them attention. They want breakfast. You get your ass up. You don't say, they kept opening the door and we said, go away so we can sleep. It makes no sense. It seems to me that they were sleeping off something.
Oh, possible.
Yeah.
And Meadow could have been sitting there in a, piss-soaked, shit-soaked diaper, and they probably could have slept through it. Just like, okay, whatever. And when they finally got out of their haze, they're like, oh, We can't find Lily and Jack.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm like not a normal parent or whatever, but when my child was younger, my child was well, she still is, but she's my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's what I start with first thing in the morning is getting up and seeing my child, getting her ready, doing things with her. You know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah.
children to take care of children. That's what you have them for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just blows my mind how parents let their kids run around and do whatever they want, or just turn the TV on, or give them an iPad or whatever to sit there and be quiet so she can, so they can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm
I
guilty of
know.
that. I'm guilty of that. I used to have a VCR. Okay. You can tell how old I am. And how old my kids are. And so when I wanted to get things done, I would pop in Jurassic Park. Yeah, I'm a horrible mother. They shouldn't have been watching that. They loved it, especially when the dinosaur ate the goat. I would pop in Lion King or just whatever movie, so I could get things done. Now, I couldn't imagine having an iPad or anything. And then when it was nap time, it's nap time. Y'all need to lay down. You got too much energy going on. You need to lay down.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every parent, done that or is doing that. You know what I mean? But I mean, as far as laying in bed and let your children run around and, especially a 4-year-old.
Well, Lily was probably the babysitter.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I was going to say. Like,
So,
yeah.
I can just picture, go look after your brother. Go get your brother. Go get your
Yeah.
brother. Where's your brother?
Yeah.
Get your brother
100%.
some cereal. Like, it's very possible that could have been the scenario.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's listen to this.
Didn't get home till later on in the afternoon. As I said, I don't know what time. The kids were out playing in the yard Thursday. Friday morning, I get up at 6 o'clock. I sent my brother a thing off of TikTok at 6:24. I had my tea, cigarettes. I went out at 7 o'clock and I fed the chickens. Came back in, sat down, had another cup of tea, and played on TeamView. At 8:48, my brother called me. We talked for 2 minutes, 59 seconds. After that, I went to sleep. I can't tell you what time I heard the kids outside. I dozed off again. I can't tell you what time I heard Daniel. It was about maybe 5 or 10 minutes after I heard him. I opened up the door, and that's when I seen Malaya. I don't really know any times after that because I never looked at my clock or my phone. I can give you the timeline, though, of when I came back from the pipeline with me and Justin on the bike. Malaya called me at I gotta find my paper here. She called me at 5:32. I didn't answer. I called her back at 5:38. She told me to come back to the trailer. That's really all the timelines I have that I can remember of right now.
Okay, great question from Broken Golf Doll. Weren't they scared the bear would get the kids? You have a wrench in the door so a bear doesn't get in, but you tell the kids to leave you alone. Janie has said it. Daniel has said it. Malaya has talked to other people saying they would just let the kids free range outside. If they're worried about bears, then why not accompany your children? I'm going to ask Pat first.
Oh, definitely. I would, if I knew there was bears in the area, like if I was up north, no way my kid's going outside without me and a dog. I don't see why these people don't have dogs running around. I mean, they're the best protection. They bark, you know, and all these missing children, nobody's got fucking dogs. I don't know.
Or they have dogs and the dogs weren't there that day.
Yeah, really. They went on vacation.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have let my child outside if I was in an area with bears. You know, like right now, there's coyotes across the street from me. You can hear them in the creek, and they go off once a day with their yip, yip, yipping. And I'm at the door last night waiting for someone to walk by with a little dog so I can yell out, pick up your dog. A coyote, 'cause there's lots of coyotes here. You know, I'm one of those to look after animals, kids, definitely. But no, mine wouldn't have been allowed outside.
And if in May in Nova Scotia bears were coming out of hibernation, then why would you even think to let your kids go outside by themselves?
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it would have been around that time that they would have been coming out as well. And the thing is, there's a lot of bear dens as well in the woods. So it wouldn't be hard for a child to hide under those bear dens either.
Yes.
But I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of contradicting with Daniel here. I mean, first of all, he's scared of a bear coming into the house, but yet he's not scared of a bear letting his kids outside. Or not watching the kids, not his kids, sorry, Malaya's kids, but not watching them. But yet he's scared of a bear? Like,
That's a very good point. That does not make sense.
No, it makes no sense.
Jen Bug said she did say the dogs were barking and saw the kids, didn't she? She did say that.
She did say her little dog was barking, yes.
Okay. Dobson Farm lives in Nova Scotia and said the bears don't bother people here. They just run away.
Mostly, majority of the bears are scared, yes. But if they know there's food around, they couldn't care less who's around, because they will go after the food. And like at the end of the driveway at the house, there was a big garbage. I don't know what you call it, like a huge garbage box or whatever you call it at the end of the driveway, which bears can get into very easily. So if there's food, there's going to be bears.
Yeah. I have some friends that live in upstate New York, and they go to Old Forge, New York, and they were setting up their tent, and next thing you know, there was a bear in the back of their SUV getting him a picnic basket.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do that.
In soon as February or March, as soon as the snow starts going away and melting, the bears come out of hibernation. And then in the fall, when it starts to snow, like November, they go back into hibernation. But before they do, they make sure that they have all kinds of food to eat. And when they come out, they're looking for food. That is the first thing they're looking for.
Well, I mean, you've got free-range chickens out there that are eating. Bears will eat the chicken feed. They will.
They'll eat the chicken.
The bears will eat the chickens.
Yeah.
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 100%.
So let's get back to the cadaver dogs and let's see what they're saying, because I'm very, very confused. And I'm really confused why Daniel said that they're not going to find the kids with the dogs.
That search for the two missing children in rural Nova Scotia. RCMP say cadaver dogs will begin searching for Lily and Jack Sullivan, who went missing in May. But officials are maintaining they don't have any reason to believe that the siblings are dead. Andrew Sampson tells us more.
Okay, hold on. They don't have any reason to believe they're dead.
4.5 months after Lily and Jack Sullivan went missing from their home in Pictou County, the RCMP says it will send in cadaver dogs trained to pick up the scent of human remains. This is something that family members, including Lily and Jack's stepfather, have been asking for. So why now? At a news briefing on Friday, an RCMP spokesperson said that although they don't have any information to suggest the children are deceased, they have to consider all avenues. Police say they've been looking into a variety of leads over the course of the investigation, and that they now plan to use the dogs in an area where they believe there is the highest probability of finding Lily and Jack. 2 dogs and 2 RCMP officers trained in locating human remains are coming from BC to conduct the search. The children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, says she's happy to see the dogs being deployed, but she still questions what took so long. 8.5 square kilometers of dense woods near their home have already been searched, but until now, only dogs that can trace human scent but not human remains had been used.
Okay, I'm asking you all because, well, you're on the spot, you're up here, and you're way more local than me. We have other people in here that are real Canadians, some from Nova Scotia. Do you think it was too long for them to get the dogs out?
Well, if they're cadaver dogs, then they're going to be picking up deceased people.
Mhm.
So the harm in it is everybody's still wondering what happened to them for the 5 months. If they're deceased, they're deceased. I would have personally hawked everything I owned and found cadaver dogs to get out there.
They're very expensive. They're $30,000 to $40,000 to get a cadaver dog.
But if it was my kids, I would have done it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would have got a mortgage on my house and got on the true crime community and found somebody who's willing to, let me pay to bring the dog and the trainer up. So RCMP doing it, well, at least they're doing it now.
They're doing it now.
Better
I think they
late
should
than
have done
never,
it.
right?
That's right. Better late than never. They should have, in my opinion, done that with the search dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one day search dogs, next day cadaver, and then they could have ruled that out.
Yeah, but I go back to the very beginning again. They assumed, just like all of us, that they went into the woods.
Yeah.
So everybody thought they had just wandered off in the woods. They'd be found the next day.
Yeah, but after a week of not finding them, you'd think they go, okay, new plan needed here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was a newscaster, I'd be asking that to the RCMP. Why didn't you bring them out after a week? In that type of weather and terrain, they're not going to be alive even after 2 weeks.
No.
So what is the RCMP thinking that they're not telling us?
Yeah.
Well, they have more information than we do. And that's why I always say I'm going to trust the police, because what's in the documents is the tip of the iceberg. It's not everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? That's all there is. I mean, in the States, we get what's called a probable cause affidavit. And we're sitting there going, well, hot damn, I have done this. I knew that the whole time. And then everything else comes out and you're going, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's different in Canada. We don't get anywhere near the type of information you guys get.
No.
Everything's sealed, redacted. We still don't have a registry up here where we can search for pedophiles that live around us. You can't even do anything like that up here.
No.
So
I don't know. I just say better late than never.
There you go.
That's right. That's all we can say.
Look at the bright.
We can't criticize what the RCMP are doing because we don't know what they're doing. They're only giving us they're only telling us half of what they're doing, if even that.
Yeah.
And
I
I
agree.
mean, we don't know what they're doing.
I agree fully, Jeannie, because like I said, this document dump, which is unknown for that area, unseen, it's not done very often.
Mm.
It's the tip of the iceberg. As more, and the investigation is still open.
And it's a very intense investigation. They're not slowing down by any means. I mean, they're all in. They all want to find Jack and Lily, just like everybody else wants Jack and Lily to be found.
Mhm.
So all boots are on the ground. They're not going to stop until they find them.
So I think the dogs being brought in is just to rule out any questions about, they could be deceased in the woods.
Exactly.
So this will, and more to the public.
Unclear when the search will begin, but it won't be this weekend. Police say they're keeping the details close to their chest to protect officer safety and not compromise the investigation. Andrew Sampson, CBC News, Halifax.
Well, some people did. When they would see him out there, they would go on Facebook or the Twitter or the Snapchat and say there's dogs out there. They should not have done that. And I will stand by that. That's a horrible thing. Those kids didn't do anything to them.
Some people only think about getting the attention that they want.
Mhm.
I believe, they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to be the first one to say that I've seen them here, I've seen them there. I'm going to leak information. Are they not listening to what people are saying on the news? Like, give your head a shake, just be quiet and let the police do what they got to do.
Mhm.
I mean...
Okay, for more insight into this, we're going to now turn to Bruce Pitt-Payne. Bruce is a retired RCMP major crimes investigator joining us tonight from Maple Ridge, BC. Bruce, it is good to speak to you on this.
Hi, Sarah.
So the RCMP planning to use cadaver dogs. What does this news tell you about where we are in the investigation and where things are going? I mean, what they have said is they don't believe they have any reason to think that the children are dead, but the use of cadaver dogs is going to make a lot of people think that they must.
Yeah, and they've said that over and over again. And with the information or the lack of information we have, which is normal at this point, the public wouldn't know exactly what the police know. But if we go on what they're saying, this is a logical step. It seems that they've been doing a thorough process so far, going through all of the steps that generally would happen in a missing persons investigation. And now they're at the point where this is probably the logical next step, even if it's a Hail Mary. Kudos to the police for doing things that might give some sort of resolution.
So what is a cadaver dog then looking for?
They're trained specifically, aside from other police dogs training. They look, instead of for cross-training and all different sorts of scents, they're focused primarily on the decomposition of human remains. And so that's what they're going to be looking for. So at least the police can possibly rule out certain areas.
They're not saying when this is actually going to happen, where it's actually going to take place, this particular part of the search. Why wouldn't they be a little more open about that?
Yeah, there's several reasons for that. The predominant reason is that they don't want what we in the business used to call looky-loos showing up. They could distract the dogs. You can imagine that, for instance, if people show up with heavy perfume on, that alone could be a scent noise and a distraction to the dogs and interference. But also the having people around could distract them. And frankly, it could be in danger.
There you go. They're saying, do not interfere. Because if you have on a whole buttload of sunflowers by Clinique or some lip gloss that tastes like strawberries, it's gonna throw the dogs off.
Exactly.
And what are the dogs? What are those specific dogs used for?
To scent human remains.
Exactly. So in the beginning, the kid, even if the kids did wander in the woods, would they have died that fast?
No, I'd give them a couple weeks. Well, maybe a week.
It
Oh,
throws
look at the picture. Look at the picture of Lily and Jack. That just breaks my heart right now.
breaks my heart too. Are they not the cutest thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when they say we're gonna just leave it alone.
Dangerous terrain. You never know, somebody could get hurt. The other reason is purely investigative, and it's regarding something called holdback evidence. If the police did in fact find some human remains in a certain area and it was released to anybody else in any way, it would mean they couldn't test the reliability of a confession later. So if somebody said, here's where the remains should be, it would show that that was a reliable, and I'll use the term confession, should that come later. So the police do not want to ruin that opportunity.
Why do you say that you feel like this is the time, the appropriate time to bring in this kind of a device, these animals? I'm just wondering if you were looking to rule something like this out, why not do it, a couple of months ago? This goes back to May.
Yeah, generally the dogs, I'm going to give you an idea here, is they're not perfect. And I think that was said earlier, and from the research I've done, they're not perfect. So you could get false or negative, false positives or negatives, meaning that if the dog thought it detected something, it could be rotting foliage, it could be a dead animal, it could be anything like that. That could lead to a bias on the part of the investigators, redirect them from areas that they should be working on. So it could waste time and delay a result. Now, you could get a false negative as well, where they don't detect anything, leading to a bias that the children are not in that area. And that could lead to a bias where tunnel vision kicks in and the police leave that search scene. So because it's not 100% perfect, it is not the optimal way. It is another way of trying to find what happened. And usually it comes later in the investigation because there's lots of other things.
Over the years, I've seen lots of dogs solve cases. Okay. In the case of Madeline Soto, when the scent dogs picked up that she had been in the car, done. Okay. Now they didn't need the cadaver dogs to find her. They found her on her own. Greg and I were in the panhandle of Florida, and we saw a bunch of officers and a bunch of dogs. Okay. When we're out and about, I love to watch the local news. Well, that night, they said a woman who had been missing was found by the cadaver dogs. So I'm not saying they're perfect, but they have a very keen sense of what they're smelling out.
Yeah, and it's better than nothing. Like, you use everything, right, at your disposal.
Mm-hmm.
So have at it.
That they've been working on.
We had heard, from the stepfather in this, that he was concerned that they weren't searching elsewhere outside of the wooded area behind the home, that perhaps the children had been taken. If, in fact, these cadaver dogs go in and they don't find any evidence of decomposing body, if the children are not found there, where do you think that at this stage of the investigation, what are the next steps?
Well, I can tell you that, for one thing, just if we still focus on the cadaver dogs, the fact that there is a negative result from any upcoming search does not mean that they aren't going to do it again. And that's what I meant by a false negative. if they don't find.
You're right, Sarah. They are very smart. I was coming back from Jamaica and I brought some seed pods with me because I wanted to grow the plants in Jamaica in my yard in Oklahoma, which I understand now would have never worked. Well, guess what? The dogs scented it out, and you should have seen my luggage when I got it. Oh, yeah.
Anything this time, there could be a logical reason if remains were found later, which would mean that they will do continuous searches probably. And I'm going to guess, it could be 6 months, could be every year. But the cadaver dog handler, I believe it was Staff Sergeant Pike said earlier, that if a remains are underground, for instance, or in a container or underwater, then as time goes by, a subsequent search might reveal more of a scent.
Bruce Pitt-Payne, retired RCMP major crimes investigator. Great to speak to you about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. He explained it. Now, I don't know what these dogs from British Columbia are going to do. I can just give you a little feedback on what they do around here. This is out of Tennessee, and they use the dogs a lot.
Highly trained canines that can help law enforcement agencies track down a clue or even close a case. They can also help provide closure to a family that's missing a loved one. Just recently, we told you about a private investigator who says his 2 cadaver dogs got a hit on a location in the camping site where Dior Coons Jr. was last seen in Lemhi County, which got us thinking, how are cadaver dogs trained to sniff out human remains as opposed to animal remains?
Remember that freak that escaped from jail? I think it was in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. And that dog found him, sending him out. He about tore him a new asshole.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
I know, because when I put it up, you said, way to go, dog.
I always root for the dog. Like,
Me too.
yeah, sorry. If you do something wrong, then you deserve all this. If a dog gets you, well, that's tough shit.
Mm-hmm.
Way
Joey
to go,
Prechtel spent the day working with a cadaver dog handler and has that answer for us.
Well, Brian, Paula Cudd owns and runs Precision Canine Training here in Boise, but she's also a cadaver dog handler and has been for about 20 years now. She's assisted law enforcement on numerous investigations throughout her career. And now when it comes to human and animal remains, she says everything goes back to how that dog was trained. Paula Cudd has an interesting hobby, to say the least.
Probably been working with cadaver dogs about 15.
This is her dog.
Guard. This is Ziva. She's a 10-year-old German Shepherd.
She's
What a beautiful puppy.
Gorgeous.
certified by the North American Police Work Dog Association as a cadaver dog, meaning she can sniff out human remains.
Blood, a few bones, a full body, yeah.
The training is similar to drug dogs.
So they learn that odor equals reward.
And Ziva has learned that over her nearly 10-year career.
She's at that veteran stage where it's kind of smooth sailing now.
Back when she was getting started, part of the training process was ignoring the smell of animal remains and only alerting to human remains.
That would be considered.
That's a smart dog. Broken Golf Doll said, or chlamydia. Chlamydia and Cletus don't know how to train a dog. I don't know what they're talking about. Goodness. They're the ones that calls us crime lines and lesbians.
A distraction. So we train with maybe dead animals in there or food, and the dog must ignore all but the target odor.
Ziva went through a mock training to show off her ability.
And she's ready. Yeah. Search.
Cadaver dogs are trained to alert their handler when they got a hit.
She will tell me it's there.
And that leads to an award.
Good job. Good job. Yeah.
When it comes to training, though, the handler has to have some sort of human remains to establish the scent. So you may be thinking, where do you get that?
So one of the easiest training aids to get is placenta, because it's blood and tissue. And so a lot of times we'll start with that.
In this instance, we used an old hip bone.
Search.
which she alerted to not once,
Search.
not twice,
Good girl.
but 3 times in 3 different areas.
Woo, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
All this training is aimed to help law enforcement
Yeah. Good girl.
close a case.
But you train, and if you can help someone find closure, you can help an investigation. It's pretty exciting.
What a beautiful puppy. Oh
They're
my God.
they're amazing. They are amazing dogs. And this is why this is why the police use them.
Yeah.
Well, OJ's watching it with me, and he's walking around going, I could do that shit. Don't talk to me about German Shepherds. I can do that. I just really hope something good comes out of this. I really want to see these beautiful kids found. If Malaya gave them to someone, so be it. Find them, put them somewhere safe, A lot of people are asking about bears. Well, there was a bear sighting in New Jersey, which they have a lot, and they normally leave people alone. But this bear was sick. And so when I think about this, like maybe a bear in the woods really did do something to the kids. Since Daniel brings up bear after bear after bear after bear, got to watch the bears, got to watch the bears. This bear had to be euthanized because it bit a woman's, basically her calf muscle off. And it was a bad scene. Okay.
A bear has been euthanized after it bit a woman inside a Dollar General store.
It happened at
Always a damn Dollar General. It's so weird. It's so weird there, though. You can, especially like if you go to Old Forge or Lake Placid. The minute the door opens, a bear can walk in and just start eating Cheetos off the shelf and leave.
Oh my God.
I've seen some of those videos. Now up here, I know there's 2 kinds of bears, black bears and brown bears. One of them will run if it hears a human or whatever. The other one is a little more aggressive.
Grizzly.
I think in grizzly, but I think in Nova Scotia, don't you just have the ones that pretty well will stay away from humans?
Black bears.
Oh, are those the black bears? Okay.
Yeah, but the grizzly bears, no, they don't care who you are. They will go after you, especially if they have baby cubs. That's it. You can run, but you can't hide. And
Do you have those? So you have grizzlies in New Brunswick?
No, my God, no.
Yeah, I didn't think. For some reason, I didn't think so.
No, if I had a grizzly bear here, I'd be packing my bags and I'd be moving somewhere nice, like Florida or something. Because no,
they have a big problem with those in Alaska, and what they have to do is they have to thin them out.
Yeah,
because they eat all the salmon, and then they will get into people's houses, and they got to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. They don't have a problem, I think they said, because my cousin lives there, from October to March. And then after that, you don't know what they're going to do.
But if there was a rogue bear in Nova Scotia around where the kids were, you would hear about it from all the locals. They would all know. And
definitely.
We really haven't, I haven't heard anything about that. So, and if a bear ever messed up with one of the children, you would see something, you would find something. So I really don't think that's it. I just think it's a hazard that I wouldn't let my kids out in the yard by themselves. That's all.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that.
That's what confused me. Because like when my kids would play outside, we get things called snakes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I know. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And so there's these pellets and everything we put down around. We don't do it here, because I don't have little kids walking around, and OJ's not scared of snakes, and I'm not either. But I didn't want my kids getting bit by one. And so when we lived in the country, I mean, we put all kinds of stuff down. Get them out of here. Deer piss and everything.
Yeah.
So when I hear Daniel saying, oh, they were scared of a bear. He said there is a bear. Janie said there has been a bear. But again, I don't know how you take care of a bear in Nova Scotia.
But it hasn't been mentioned until after the kids went missing. But he hasn't mentioned it since about a bear. And even if there was a bear, air quotes there, the bears don't eat diapers. The bears don't eat rubber boots, coats, backpacks. I mean,
Exactly.
it would be somewhere in the woods if that was the case.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know?
So you didn't find Lily and Jack, and you didn't find the bear that Daniel was scared of. Okay, so that's another red flag. I'm sorry to say it. I don't want anyone to be guilty, and I don't want the kids to be murdered or not found. But, you know, we have to look at these things. We're allowed to think, and we're allowed to judge. Okay, we are.
Yeah, it's all in our opinions and speculation.
Exactly.
It's running around in our heads like, what the hell happened to these two children?
Right.
Two of them. It just gets me like, I just can't believe that they've passed away in the woods. And if somebody did something to them, boy, I don't know. I'm just hoping somebody gave them away and they're off on a reservation somewhere.
Pat, I get that as well. 2 kids from the same family. It's been blowing my mind ever since I heard that 2 kids were missing from the same family.
It just seems reasonable that some adult had to have been involved.
Yeah. I agree.
That's what gets me. Some adults have to be involved for these kids to know sight of them that we know of. And again, I think the RCMP are not going to tell you 1/100th of what they know.
No.
They're not like that. They do not tell you anything.
Nope.
And they shouldn't. We talk about this in every case. I understand people get frustrated and they say, you know, what's going on? What's going on? We need more information. They would be stupid to say what they know.
Yeah.
All right, back to my bear story. And then I'll tell you my actual bear story.
Vernon, New Jersey. Witnesses say the bear had been acting strange and was threatening people and pets. Nick Calloway has the wild video of the encounter.
This is not good.
No.
It's a menacing sight. The 175-pound female black bear roaming the aisles of the Dollar General in Vernon Township Tuesday afternoon.
Come on, come with me. Come on.
Sean Clarkin recorded this video on his cell phone as he lured the bear outside.
Now, if I was Sean Clark, I would shit my fucking pants.
Yeah.
My husband and I were in Lake Placid, New York. Okay. We were in a store, you know, those stores you walk up to and the doors automatically open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck my life. There's a bear in here.
Oh my God.
I would have been back in that car so fast.
Definitely.
But Ranger Rick was like, oh, he's like, get him some peanuts. He'll go out. I'm like, really? Okay. But when Greg heard a rattlesnake in Tucson, Arizona, he about got diarrhea.
Yep. That's because we're used to bears, not rattlesnakes.
No, my God, no.
No, he went to throw some trash away. We were in Tucson, Arizona. I've never seen him run so fast. Holy hell. He looked like an Olympian. And I'm like, what's going on? There's no one behind him. He jumped in the truck and he goes, fucking rattlesnakes are out there. And I go, and? Don't step on them.
Oh.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Mm-mm. No.
The store. Clear the front of the store. There's people in the store. I would rather get the bear out of the store, have them follow me out.
New Jersey Fish and Wildlife say one woman in the store was injured by the bear and taken to the hospital. Several witnesses say the bear appeared sick, acting erratically along Route 94 for hours. Police used rubber bullets to scare it into the woods, but the bear came back, threatening people and pets. It attacked Aaron Gladding's German Shepherd, Lucky.
They kind of like pawed at each other for a little bit. The bear got on top of them. My guys were outside, luckily enough. They got the bear distracted long enough to get my dog on a leash.
Lucky got lucky, but the bear had to be put down. Christine Floor watched from her car as local police shot the animal.
My heart just sank. I got tears in my eyes. I'm tearing up now thinking about it. I asked the cop, was that just a tranquilizer or did you have to shoot him? And he said we had to shoot him. And
they had to euthanize him.
Usually when things like that happen, like any animal that comes into like a city or a town like that, it's they call that a brain disease that the animal would have. And that's why they do that.
Well, I just always wonder if they could take him to the zoo and they could fix it. Because we had one in Southeast Oklahoma that they had to put down. And they just had to. It was way too aggressive and it was sick. I mean, it had all kinds of diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds
really, we've built our towns in their areas. If one comes into a store and it's acting differently than a normal bear, then it's preservation of life of the town. You have to look after it. And they can't just shoot them with a tranquilizer gun if they don't have a resource to come and pick up that bear. That weighs probably 500-600 pounds. I mean, they have to think of that. The bear's going to wake up after whatever, an hour or something. So if they don't have any resources around to do this, then I could see why they had to shoot it.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but
Euthanize it. But I mean, he bit that woman on the back of the leg, and obviously his teeth are bigger than hers.
Oh, yes.
But I mean, from what I'm understanding, I've been doing a lot of bear research, and most of them are very nice. I mean, let's look at this one.
One time I walked by and I saw the pool water was going up and down. And we were like, oh my gosh, we have bears in the yard.
Oh, don't come talk to me, girl.
Shut the door.
When we were still in the process of buying, the realtor did tell us that there is a lot of bear activity. But we didn't realize how much bear activity we'd have until we actually moved in.
We're the first house from the National Forest.
Well, they need to close their doors, and Daniel with this whole bear thing. Are you kidding me? And he puts a wrench in the door, and both him and Janie are saying a bear probably got him.
Oh.
Yeah. That reminds me, a few years ago, my husband and I and my daughter, we were at his deer stand, and bears, they'll eat anything, right? And deers, they will eat like apples and carrots and stuff. Anyway, we end up going to his bear stand, and we got way on the top, like in this tree house. And we looked down, and it was starting to get dark, and we were getting ready to go, and we looked down, and here's a bear. There is a bear eating the apples, and I'm thinking, I'm not leaving here until that bear is gone. Like, it was not bear season, so we couldn't shoot it, but obviously if it, it attacked us, we would have, shot it. But we stood there. We stayed on that stand for a good hour before the bear left. It was terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Well, Rob and Donnie in Old Forge, because he told me about it at work, he was just like, okay, they're a gay couple, all right? Donnie is the masculine one, and Rob is the more feminine. And don't come after me saying I'm being homophobic or anything. I'm just telling you that's their relationship. They're awesome people. And Rob goes, I almost called up in a tree and I kept saying, Donnie, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And all he did was shoo the bear away and gave it more food. It had like a clump of grapes and everything, and that was it.
Yeah.
Kimberly,
when I see a bear, I don't want to take the chance.
No. Kimberly Mann said, if you shoot a bear, do you eat the meat? A lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah, we have bear seasons here. We have bear season where we hunt bears here. Just like moose and deer, it's the same thing.
Yeah. And it's culling the hide as well. I mean, you
Yes.
know, if you don't, as long as you use the meat.
Yeah.
And I know most hunters that are very, like the good ones, if they're not going to eat it, they're going to go give it to a reservation or give it to somebody. They're not going to
donate
waste.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, donate it.
Lady said bears have destroyed so many of my bird feeders in my yard. They love those seeds. Hence why when people were telling me with Janie talking about the bear and the bear populations, and she keeps saying I was out there feeding the chickens. If she's putting down chicken feed, they'll eat it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, they'll eat the bears too. It doesn't matter. You can have a 6-foot gate around the chickens. The bear is going to tear that gate. Like, it doesn't matter. And it's funny because if they've been talking about bears and bears and bears and bears, how come the bears haven't attacked the chickens?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, would Janie tell us? Because they're really afraid about a child endangerment charge. They're really afraid of it.
Well, I mean,
stories about how many chickens she has.
Well, none of them I don't see. Well, I mean, I've never heard of them getting eaten by a bear, and they never mentioned chickens being eaten by a bear. I haven't heard them saying anything about that.
No, either have I. And in the spring, isn't that when they have the cubs out?
Yes.
Aren't they born spring and fall or something like that?
Exactly. The spring they come out with the mommy comes out with the babies in the spring.
But bears aren't neat. There would be evidence of bear tracks and stuff like that around the house. So I think that's a definite no. I don't think any bear came and fussed with the children.
No, I don't think so either. Poppy Red Mustang said you have to bring in bird feeders here because we have black bears. Woo!
Oh wow!
Here's the whole thing. I know how to deal with snakes. Okay, Jeannie and Pat know how to deal with bears. I'm not going to talk to anyone about how to deal with a bear because I don't know. I don't.
Well, we teach our kids when we're young and we go camping that all food has to be, if you're going to go camping without a vehicle close, you hang the food in the tree.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows that. You hang your waste, your garbage, you hang it in a tree pretty high up, and that's it. I mean, my son would have known that when he was like 5 or 6 years old. It's just part of teaching your children life. Bears, blah, blah, blah. And we don't feed, at our home, we don't feed the squirrels and all of that. You don't feed wild animals because you don't want them to think that you're great. Because there's people around, like, we're the worst enemies of the animals.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough food in the woods. You don't need to feed squirrels and stuff like that. Although I had a bird feeder up once. I'll tell you this, I hated it. I had a bird feeder up because I thought, oh yeah, the gorgeous like cardinals and stuff like that. And one day I'm sitting looking out my kitchen window and I see birds on the feeder. So I've got my camera ready to film. And what do I see? A effing rat goes walking through the garden and is trying to get up the silver pole that the bird feeder's on. It couldn't get up it, but I can't stand rats. They bother me. And so then I started investigating, and it said the worst thing you can do is put a bird feeder in your yard because you're going to attract rats.
Yeah.
So that was it. Last year I ever had the bird feeders. And then, of course, I do more investigating, and you know what they can eat. So, they eat all my flowers and stuff like that, and, which is good. But no more bird feeders. Nothing that's going to attract something that I don't want.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Like years ago when I was much younger, I had been driving on the highway and I hit a moose.
Oh dear.
And it like hit the whole, like right in front of my car, like it bowled the hood up, and anyway, it flew on the other side of the road. And apparently
so it did more damage to your car than you did to the moose.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, the moose that was crossing the road has been crossing the road for many, many, many months because the people that live on the other side of the road were feeding it.
Yeah.
So it was going at that time to get something to eat by the people that were feeding the moose.
Yeah. See,
So
people interfering with nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that just because they were feeding it, it went across the road. But I mean, if you put two and two together,
It went across the road to get the food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't get the food this time. It got a shot because apparently when I hit it, it didn't die in the ditch, so they had to put it down.
Well, you're lucky you were alive.
Yeah, it was not. It was a good thing because it was not a big bear or a big moose, so that helped me a lot. But it rode my car off. I mean, there was nothing left in my car.
Well, I mean, there is a reason that they say don't feed the bears. They want them in the woods.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we're the first house that they would visit on their way down.
We learned what we should be doing and what we should.
Oh, Pat, is that your house?
No.
Shouldn't be doing.
Hey, get out of there. We always keep the doors closed and the windows closed. It's been a couple of months now that they'll come by.
That bear
That's hilarious.
Cool. It really does. If that bear had a Keystone Light and a cup holder and a vape and a cell phone, it would look just like.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, look at the baby.
We've gotten one bear that just comes and takes naps inside the pool.
No.
The other bears definitely like to play and bat at the different floaties. And then they hop out of the pool and go on back to the forest or down the street.
We love seeing them, so every time they come around, we start recording them. But Maddie Bear, she's our most frequent visitor. She's very comfortable and curious.
What you doing, Boo? I remember one time when she came around with the cub. We were like, oh my God.
Now that's when they get mad, is if someone tries to touch their cub.
Yeah. Must have been pregnant. And oh my gosh, they were so tiny and just adorable. She's on full-time daycare as being a single mom. Maddie likes to swim. She'll go to the other end and back and soaks herself down.
She should. birth to like 6 cubs a year.
I can't believe how they're not aggressive. Like, I can't believe that, especially with cubs being around.
Oh, I think because the humans stay inside and let them use the pool and, leave things outside for them to eat.
Yeah.
And when she wants to play in the pool, the cubs are in the background having a bunch of fun. So she was probably happy she didn't have to deal with him.
I hope Janie understands this is not a Temu pool, and these are not Temu floats, and those are not Temu pillows that are the very nice lawn chairs, okay?
So she was probably happy she didn't have to deal with him. No.
Oh my God, such a cute little thing. When we first moved in, we were scared.
But they've kind of changed our life, and I would say for better. We get to coexist with these beautiful animals. So from that scary experience, it's now turned into a positive for us.
And we definitely feel like it's a privilege.
And this family actually put in a hot tub for them.
Well, I hope they don't have any kids or dogs. That's all. I mean, it's very nice. It's adorable what they're doing. I don't agree with it. I would put a sprinkler out if they want water, but I'd put the sprinkler in the woods. Like,
You wouldn't go swimming with the bears?
no, I wouldn't even like that. I'd move. I'd be like, no, obviously us humans encroached upon their wooded area and they're quite comfortable there, which bothers me because they're still a wild animal. Wild animals can't be controlled. And their instinct is going to pop up at any time and you don't know when they feel threatened.
No, you're right. I mean, you're right. I live with one. And I mean, Daniel and Janie that keep wanting to say the bears, the bears, the bears, the bears. I mean, this is the only bear they might have had around. Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, The Walking Dead, I saw your comment. Yes, it's funny. If it was a really dry summer, like it was Arizona and the animals needed water, I would try something, even a kid's pool out in the woods and I'd go fill it up. So, yeah. But, yeah. Anyway, it's, I love animals.
Oh, I do
but
too.
They need to stay where they should stay, which is not near my house.
Exactly. I took a picture of a snake in our garden and I sent it to JTB. I mean, who's into snakes. And she's like, oh, that's just a rat snake. And I'm like, okay, I didn't see a pointed head, so I was okay with it. So I didn't take a shovel and chop it up or anything. So I was a very good, good earth person that day.
Yeah.
All right. So we will see what happens with Jack and Lily. It seems like the RCMP is onto something. I think that this is just my opinion. I think that the need for cadaver dogs is because they have a tip from someone and they're researching it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pat? Because, I mean, the whole thing from May to September, no one's going to waste resources just the community. No one's going to waste resources in taxpayer dollars just to make people on the internet feel better. When they do something like that, that means they have a suspicion or a tip.
Yeah.
Cadaver dogs aren't always brought in right away. I can only say that for here. They just don't do it. They'll use scent dogs. And then if they get other information. So people keep saying they're doing this ass backwards. They may not be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I believe that they probably got a tip, and a very good tip. And yeah.
Because they could have brought dogs in from British Columbia. Goodness, within a few days, if they had a suspicion they were dead. And if the dogs in British Columbia weren't available, they know they can get them from New York. They know they can get them from Maine. They know they can get them from Ohio. They know they can get them from Pennsylvania. They know. They train them, according to someone in here, they train them in Alberta. Okay. I believe they have a tip. And I just want to keep hope out that these beautiful babies are alive.
Yeah.
And can I just say one thing?
You go ahead.
Please leave the cops do what they got to do to find Jack and Lily, and don't get involved in what they're doing.
Yeah,
Stay out
don't
of it.
broadcast it.
No, stay out of it. If the police want us to know information, they will tell us information.
A lot. So we're lucky to get it on a news program.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Well, I agree 1,000,000%. If you have a tip, call it in.
Yeah.
If you see the police somewhere with dogs, don't assume it's Jack and Lily. They could be doing something totally different.
Yeah.
And don't show up with your Clinique Sunflowers perfume on and your glossy lips and, your sparkly makeup and confuse the dogs. That is an insane thing to do. And I don't know why anyone would do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just let the police investigate. Just let them investigate. If you got a tip, call the tip in. Just let them investigate. Don't tamper with anything of what they're doing. Sorry, it frustrates me.
It should frustrate you. Of course it should. It should frustrate everyone. It's frustrating. We have cases, that just, we still can't find Michael Vaughn in Idaho.
Yeah.
Trust me. We have plenty of cadaver dogs, but there hasn't been a certain lead to put them out.
Yeah.
I think they have a lead. I think they have evidence. Not evidence. I think they have some sort of suspicion to do this now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to finish up a video to put out this afternoon. I know everyone they got ants in their pants waiting for that. And I just want to say thank you so much to my great friend Jeannie, my great friend Pat, for coming in and having a wonderful, civil, coherent conversation. And I'm going to say right now, I love the videos about the bears.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me up, Brooks.
Yeah, thank you, Brooks.
Thanks, chat, and everyone.
And if you're a new member, check out the members tab. There's a lot going on. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on.
Oh, and thank you, whoever gifted me the membership. I appreciate it.
That was Gaelic Girl. All right, you guys are the best. Thank you, Mod Squad. Thank you, members. Thank you, new members. And most importantly, thank you, friends. I love you all.